how did you get into cosplay?
I remember I was in high school and I didn't start cosplaying in high school, but I went to my first anime north in high school. I would say grade 9, and I just went for fun, and I didn't know things like that existed. I'm like, "Oh my God, there's people who like things like me, and there's people who actually dress up, and there's booths and merch I can buy." Like it was like a culture shock to me. I was so shook. I was like, "Oh my God, dude, people dress up, people have booths." Like I just thought it was amazing. And ever since that day, I was just so inspired. I was just like, one day I'm gonna do this too. And I think I briefly tried to do it. I would say grade 10 or 11. It wasn't that good. It was awful because there was no resources during that time. I cosplayed L from Death Note.
Ooh, classic character.
It was not good, but it was the easiest thing I can do with the white long sleeve, the jeans, and I used my own hair. It was not good. I deleted so many It was so bad. When I look back at that, I was like, oh my gosh. But after high school, I would say I got a little more into it. I would say how many years after high school? I would say 4 years after high school, I sort of jumped back and said, you know what, let me try this again. At the time, I had like a job and I had money, and there was a little more resources during that time, a little more like a fan base. Like there's like tutorials on YouTube. I would see it like more on social media. I had a little more access to it. And I remember my first proper cosplay was actually it was 2B from Nier.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yes, I really loved the Nier series. Yeah, my first cosplay was 2B. Surprisingly, I was actually surprised I did 2B. But after playing that video game, like I cried. Like that game was sad. I was just like, I have to cosplay from this series. It made me so sad. And to my surprise, my 2B got a lot of like it got like more attention than I expected, and I wasn't used to it. And I didn't really try hard at the time, and I just put my stuff on. I said, okay, let's go. And I didn't think that would be the gateway for me to enter the community, make so many friends, cosplayer and photographer wise. Like ever since that day, it's been a whole life changer for me.
Something that I feel cosplayers coming up today didn't necessarily experience during, like, I guess where we have an era that overlaps, is that if you came as a character that was maybe like off the cuff or not super popular, then a lot of people would appreciate your cosplay. Nowadays, I feel like you're taking a stronger risk if you don't cosplay as whatever the more popular characters are of the season or of the time. I've spoken to some other people on my channel as well, and they even say they're wary of what characters they'll put onto their social media, because if the series isn't popular, they're not going to get the traction that they want.
Yes, this is a topic I complain to myself every day. Like, there's a lot of characters I like that aren't very popular, and every day I debate. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. But then when I post it, I notice it doesn't get a lot of traffic, and it doesn't make me sad, but it's just like, oh damn, it's really like this, huh? It's tough out here. But I give respect to people who they don't care and they just put it on, and they're just like, you know what, I like this character, whatever, here we go. Like before Chainsaw Man became big, if you know that manga, before that became big, I did a cosplay of Aki, and oh my gosh, the traffic was horrible. No one knew what I was, but I was happy with it. I was really happy with it though. So I was just like, whatever, I'm happy with it. This is for me. But it is really hard to take a risk with characters that people don't know. And I want to try and do that more, just to cosplay whatever I want. And and I do that, but it's just difficult. It's difficult sometimes.
No, I feel you on that. It's I don't really know how to word it to someone who hasn't lived through the era of cosplay not being mainstream or popular, but cosplay should be about what you love and the characters you love. And I have no doubt that cosplayers of today, they are passionate about what they do, but I also feel that the content you want to put out there should be a reflection of your passion. And if you're not going to post something because you know it's not going to get the attention that you're looking for, it, to me at least, it feels like an aspect of cosplay has been lost. And now it's more so about what do other people think about me. I'm cosplaying for other people instead of cosplaying for yourself.
Yeah, I feel that these days. I see a lot of cosplayers, and they just cosplay what's popular. Like, let's say, for example, we had a phase where everyone did 02. Like, we have phases like that. There's a lot of copy and paste people who are just like, hey, I'm here for the clout, I'm here for the likes, I'm here to promote myself, let me just do cosplays that's popular. And if you like that character, like, okay, bet. But some people, they just do it for the clout. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I sit there and I'm like, I wish more people would cosplay what they truly want to cosplay, despite the character not being popular or not. Because there are plenty of series that I love that aren't popular. Like, I'm not super into mainstream anime. Like, there's a few I like, but mostly I watch animes that a lot of people don't know about. And I want to see more of an uprising of that, more of people just cosplaying what they feel like instead of what they feel pressure to do. I feel like once we start doing that, I think the community it'll improve a little more.
Absolutely. I fully agree with you. And maybe when conventions start back up, we'll have that wave of people who are more comfortable cosplaying what they want to. But I don't know. Like, even what you said about Chainsaw Man, I absolutely love Chainsaw Man. I think it's a fantastic manga. I like it a lot. There's not much more I can say about it. But
it is amazing.
It truly is. But at the same time, I like newer anime fans, they kind of get to me because like they put so much emphasis on, oh my god, Chainsaw Man's going to be the biggest anime adaptation when it comes out, and like they did the same thing with Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't really like Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, I don't think it's a bad series, but I just don't think it's that great. And I know people who also felt the same way about me when Jujutsu Kaisen first started off, and now that the anime is so huge and you go on their cosplay pages, they're cosplaying as JJK characters, and it's like, I know, like, 2 months before you did not like this series, so the fact that you're now into the cosplay, you're doing it just because that's what the current wave is. You like, and it makes me wonder how many people claim to like the animes that they're tweeting about or they're talking about on social media, but they're only doing it so they can get that attention. And you know, clout is a drug, and for some people cosplay is a career, so maybe they go hand in hand, but I don't know. I just feel like it kind of sullies what it means to be an anime fan and a cosplay fan. But that's kind of pessimistic.
About Jujutsu Kaisen, though, I can agree with that. Like, I like Jujutsu Kaisen, but I feel like the anime, like the episodes now, it's not a good portrayal of it, because when you read the manga and when you read it like more in depth, it actually gets pretty good. I personally like, it's not like, I agree with you, it's not the most mind-blowing like anime, but in my opinion, if you read the manga and you just get deeper into it, it gets a lot better. Like, recently I did a cosplay of a character who's not in the anime, he's in the manga. He's my favorite character. Like, I won't spoil it, but Toji is great. He is great. He's Megumi's father. He's just awful, but he's great.
I'm up to date. I think I'm like maybe 1 or 2 chapters behind, but that's what I will agree with. The manga of JJK gets progressively better. Yeah, it does get better, and I think when the anime gets to the point where it's at now, like, spoiler alert, I'll put spoiler tags in my video. The Shinjuku incident, like that arc, is very good, and I think the arc that they're in right now is also going to be really good. I think the flashback arc or whatever, all of that is just such good storytelling. But I don't know. I just feel like the hype is hype that AOT was getting, and I like AOT as well, but I don't think it was worthy of the hype that it was getting. So for me, it kind of ruins the fan base thing. But I don't know. I'm trying not to be a gatekeeper.
I don't know. I really like when Attack on Titan came out, the new season. I really enjoyed it. I remember when I saw the opening, and I was like, oh my! I was so shook. I'm not caught up with the manga, so I don't know what happened at the end. I know there was people who were like, oh, this is great, and there's another split of people who are like, oh, this is bad, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I guess I'll figure out eventually.
Yeah, better to wait it out.
Better to wait it out, but I really like Attack on Titan. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, it's really good. I really like it.